right, welcome to the Meat Dudes. I'm Evan,
I'm Tyler.
and we're here today with Quintin Weiss of Weiss Wagyu in Alberta. Man, how are you doing?
Good, guys. How are you doing?
Good,
Doing all right.
good, man. So, man, we chatted on the phone a few weeks ago,
Mhm.
and I was super excited to chat with you because you were really talking about, you're so passionate about this industry, man, and that's what we find in this industry. Super passionate people, they really care about the product. We want to keep it that way. So talking to people like you is really exciting, man. So we'll get into a lot of stuff. We talked about crossbreeds and regulations and what we cook for our kids. So we'll get into all that, man. But like really quickly, dude, how'd you get into this industry?
Um, well, we've been in the cattle industry since my father came to Alberta, and
Nice.
as we grow, we kind of like to experiment with different things and try new things out. So we have a Black Angus herd as well, and we saw. Well, my brother and my dad went to a feedlot in northern Alberta, and they had some Wagyu there, and
Really?
my dad was like, a what? Like a Wagyu? What? Didn't understand it, couldn't wrap his head around it. My brother was really interested in it. So, um, a couple years went by again and we bought some Wagyu, like semen genetics, and threw it in some of our heifers and calved them out. And, we did the F1 cross to start and fattened them up. And, we kind of thought we wanted to do something really special with them. So we ended up approaching a couple of restaurants locally in Medicine Hat
Yeah.
and, you know, um, slaughtered them and, uh,
Got him going.
yeah, I got them going and kind of went from there. So it's kind of just been every year is trying to add on new restaurants and getting the product to consumers and having a high quality product. So
That's how a lot of people kind of start too. We've noticed is that they'll get like into a nice restaurant and then everyone's like, "Holy shit! Like this beef changed my life." It's like how you can quickly get to the public, right?
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the breed, right? You want to do something really special with it, and we knew we had these kind of like it was kind of like our golden egg for the longest time, right? We only had 7 of them crosses. We weren't really like 100% invested in the breed yet,
Yeah.
and when they were ready and we fattened them up, we're like let's do something awesome with them, right? So why not take it right to the consumer where you can spread out that beef to a bunch of different people to try at once. So.
Dude, for real. So you got your stuff from, you said, Northern Alberta?
Well, we got ours through like a semen broker. Like he like
Okay, I was like,
we run a dairy as well, so we kind of have access to a lot of semen coming in.
yeah.
And there was just some in a catalog, and we're like, well, let's just try it and see what happens. It
I
goes from there. So
was like, Alberta, man. Northern Alberta, man. That's cold if we raising Wagyu.
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
well,
But they're
we're in
snow,
the south, eh? Like
yeah.
yeah, but
But it's still pretty chilly, huh?
oh yeah, we get down to -40, like -48
And
Celsius, right, with the
and the
wind.
cattle are okay there?
Yeah, I mean the like when we calve, the Angus herd is in from January to March,
Hmm.
but the Wagyus, I always make the joke like you don't want to let water touch them because they just look like they're so petite, right? They just come out
Yeah.
really small. We've learned how on that F1 cross how vigorous they are. Like they can really withhold and stand up to anything just as good as an Angus.
Yeah.
It's and then I guess leading on into the story too, we actually ended up purchasing a full blood Wagyu herd too. So we've
Okay.
had the herd for about 2 years now, and we're just keep on building off of that full blood herd.
How
So
many head in the herd?
It's small, but I mean, there's a lot of capital involved in it. So
Mhm.
we have around 12 right now and 2 bulls. Like we have too much bull power, but we can spread up our pastures, right? So
wow.
yeah.
Dude, that's cool, man. No, it's cool. It's well, I like to ask this question. Let me get to this. When was the first time you had Wagyu? Was it after you started raising them, or were you like, let me try this before we get into it?
Yeah, I mean, I tried it once we got into it, and I was basically like hooked on it. Like, you
Yeah.
can't get any better, honestly. It's
Oh, dude.
amazing beef. Even on the cross, like that's kind of what we've tried for the first time. I've tried some of Brant Lake's stuff, which is amazing,
Oh, yeah.
and
Bet.
so
Yeah, dude. So you guys do F1 Cross full blood. So what's your favorite cut right now to cook?
To cook, like I'm like everybody goes crazy for a ribeye. I'm like
Of course.
New York strip is what I
Of
love.
course.
I mean, I
Yeah,
love even my butcher said like really the grading system should be off the strip line because the marbling is just that much more intense in some of it, like as you start to
wow,
cut in. Um,
really?
and
Instead of the ribeye.
pardon me.
Instead of the ribeye.
Yeah, that's what he says. That's what he's kind of going off of, and so I like the New York. I mean, some people
Yeah.
like to cut around a bone with like a bone in like tomahawk or,
Okay.
but I've always just been like simple, like just New York. Any of the premium cuts I really like too. Like we have a butcher shop on our own, on our farm here too as well,
That's
and
cool.
Nice.
so we can kind of really experiment with different kind of cuts.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's like a learning process for us, right? They're not like perfectly symmetrical, but we're dialing it in too. Like, we can do some of those fancier ones, like you guys like the Zabuton and like the Denver, which is the same thing, I guess. But the skirt
Yeah.
steak or just anything that we can really go like see like bearded butchers or whatever we're willing to try.
Yeah.
Something other kind of stuff that we've tried is like doing that beef bacon. I don't know if you guys have that in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we've tried that before. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like I guess it's down more like the middle of the beef, I guess. But
Mhm.
some guys are going crazy over that. Like they can smoke it and then like put it in like a bourbon or whiskey brine and smoke it. And they said it's like a caramelized, like it's really good. So
It's great. It's
yeah,
phenomenal. I
yeah,
love beef bacon.
yeah,
What do you
awesome.
What do you use when you cook that, chef? What cut do we use?
Navel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, just like a pig, right?
piggy. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And does the beef toro come off of that navel?
It does.
That always confuses me. Yeah. I
So
love.
we work with a company pretty closely here. It's like predominantly all the meat that we buy locally, other than different wagyu that we buy,
Mhm.
is Preservation Meat Collective, and they actually harvest this muscle for us. That's probably, I don't think I have one in the case, but it's kind of resembles a flank about that size, but it's a little bit thinner and just ultra marbled. So
oh
it's like
nice.
the heart of the navel, and because it's so fatty and delicious, we decided to call it Toro.
Nice.
So it kind of takes after like the fatty tuna belly. It's almost the exact same thing. So
It's so good.
check it out.
Yeah, I mean that's good. I should take notes. Like that, it's one thing when you kind of like we're still building, right? So the restaurants that we're working with, they're taking the whole animal and they're very creative. Like you guys chefs are just like, you blow my mind with some of the stuff you guys come up with, but they're always looking for different ideas and stuff too, right? So
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. For sure, man. We got to utilize that whole animal,
yeah,
and
for sure.
it's not just grind anymore. That's what we talk about too. Is not
I,
just in
I
the.
just started making Wagyu lotion, if you
alum,
can't tell.
yeah,
Oh yeah, you look
nice,
10 years
yeah,
younger.
that's
Use tallow lotion, dude.
yeah, I use
Yeah.
that too actually.
It's gonna be the thing,
Yeah,
man.
you got to use it, it's good.
But even like all the cuts, I mean, even like ranch steaks, from the Cloud Heart, like I mean, stuff like that you used to just throw right into grind, are like nice stakeable items these days, which
Right,
is which is really cool, man. Like it's
yeah,
it's utilizing so much more of this cow instead of just throwing it in the grind and getting burgers. Burgers are great, but
hmm.
like a lot of people want steaks, man. So how many more steaks can we get out of a Wagyu cow?
Well,
Yeah,
and
we were talking with another rancher in, what was that guy's name, Evan? North Dakota and Wyoming and Montana, right? There's like,
Superior Wagyu Charles?
yep, that's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And we asked him the same question, and he was just like, top round. He wants a top round steak,
oh,
Yeah, dude.
full blood top round steak. He's like,
nice,
that's my favorite thing. He likes the chew, but
Yeah.
the marbling score, in the top round in a full blood Wagyu is, and that looks like a tenderloin from a prime
yeah.
cow.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
That's just
man.
what I was gonna add. Like anything, even on a cross, like you get that outside round roast, and you're like looking at it. Like I had one chef that he bought it, but it wasn't labeled, and he thought it was the ribeye, and it was a cross rib roast. And he was gonna pay me for the ribeye, for like a ribeye roast, and I'm like, I couldn't sleep at night if I charged him
Yeah.
30
You're
bucks.
you're an honest man.
Yeah,
That
so I
was-
said it's a cross rib roast, and I charged him. Like we worked out a deal accordingly. So, but the marbling's insane on any cut. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's crazy, man. And that's what's great is that you don't have to get the ribeye, man. Like honestly, it was like a few months ago I was cooking up this full blood ribeye, and it's just like I'm in my cast iron and I'm just getting into it, bro. And I'm so I start cutting into it. I'm eating it. About halfway through, I was like, fuck, dude, I don't want this anymore. Like half of it was amazing, right? But then I'm like, I don't want to eat anymore, man. Like that is
So rich.
for me, dude. And so like now if I get a full blood ribeye, dude, I'm like cooking it and I'm splitting it with 2-3 people because it's fucking great. But
Yeah.
if I want to sit down and have a steak, man, at F1 Cross New York, I think is my thing right now. And I love the Bovettes and other cool shit like that. But like if I just want like a steak, yeah, dude, F1
Yeah.
Cross New York.
Skirt steak, full blood skirt steak.
Oh, full blood skirt, dude.
Mm.
I love it, man. Hey, Quintin, so, man, when we were talking on the phone, I loved it. You started talking about what you cook for your kids. And me and Tyler always joke that our kids are just like meat spoiled, man. They're just like, they're eating Wagyu now. They don't even know how good it is, man. But what do you like to cook for your kids, man?
Well, honestly, like we're meat eaters in this household. Like every meal is just like, well, for breakfast it's like farm fresh eggs. For lunch it's like Wagyu burgers. For supper it's like whatever kind of cut I can kind of like. It's like I'm a hunter going out into the freezer and like picking what I basically want, right? But
I love it.
like my daughter, she had like she has swollen tonsils, right? So it's really hard for her to like chew meat and swallow meat. And so then I brought home this we started cooking Wagyu, and she just like can't stop eating it, right? And I joke with my wife, and I'm like, she's gonna have a hard time finding a man that can like raise Wagyu cattle. She has like a high standard of beef now, so every time they go out, if like Wagyu isn't on the menu, she's gonna be
like, what is this crap?
Yeah, exactly. So we're setting the bar. What's
I
that?
love setting the bar real high, man.
Yeah.
How old's your daughter?
She's 3. She's 3. I got a pretty young
3.
family.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So my daughter just turned 9 last Wednesday.
Oh wow, nice.
And I said, babe, what do you want for your birthday dinner? And she was like, I think maybe a Wagyu filet mignon and potato puree and steamed broth.
Dang.
You gotta be kidding me. And she's like, and can you make that gravy? You make the really good gravy. Can you make the gravy?
That was spoiled, dude.
Here's your birthday, girl.
Yeah.
So
I love it, dude. I'm watching my kid. Like, I got a 17-year-old stepson, and we'll cook up some nice Wagyu. Like, I'll have, like a nice full-blood New York or F1 Cross New York, and I'll split it with him. And I'm watching. He's just, like, looking at his phone and, like, eating it. And I'm like, fuck, stop. What are you doing, dude? Like, eat this thing. It's so good. And my daughter, who's 4 as well, I cooked up a F1 Cross New York the other day, and man, I cut it up in little pieces, and she just was eating it. She's like, "More meat, Daddy, more
it's
meat."
crazy.
And I'm like,
when they get on it. It's
yeah,
like, they love it.
know
I
it's
think
good.
it's the tenderness and everything. They just can chew it better and swallow better
it's
digestion.
it's the flavor profile, and that's like one of the things that we really try to educate our clientele on. Is like I've said this before, but I can smell like in the kitchen if it's Wagyu or not.
Really?
Again, I'll be like, oh, that's a Wagyu brisket, and right off the bat. But I mean, we are spoiled because the meat that we use, ultimately for the restaurant, if I'm not doing Wagyu, it's super prime, and we're just fucking spoiled rotten,
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I know.
You
I
almost
was
gotta
eating.
take like
Oh,
a
go ahead.
break from it. Sorry. Take a break from it and like eat some AAA or
Right.
something to realize what
Yeah,
you
right.
on.
Yeah, dude. I know. I just had a prime ribeye the other day, and I ate the whole thing. I was like, yeah. Like I can eat a prime ribeye, man. That tastes good. I can finish the whole thing and feel great. But once I start getting to that like full blood, man, oh, dude, I can't finish the whole thing, man.
Yeah.
It's glorious. It's fucking amazing, but
Full blood flank steak, I think, is probably the best. It's like the best cut on a full blood animal because it's generally such a leaner piece of meat That marbling is insane.
Dude.
Flavor is just ridiculous. I love that. I love
It's
that.
those and the what do we call them? The short ribs, the flanken ribs.
Oh, flankins, yeah, flankins are nuts, dude.
I love those full blood flankins, man. You like burn your house down cooking those, man. I'll marinate them too, man. I'm not too proud. That's some of the best stuff I've ever had. Dude. People are like salt and
I like
pepper only. I'm like, no, dude, I'm marinating these, dude. This is fucking delicious, dude. I love it, man. Dude, so let's get into some of the crossbreeds. You know, I think when we talk to a lot of people, when you're talking about F1 cross 50-50, right? 50% Angus, or sorry, 50% Wagyu, 50% other cow. A lot of it is 50% Wagyu of the black from Japan, and then a 50% Angus, cross. So that's like where we see most of it. I know Charles from Superior Wagyu is working with Jersey cow. I know Brant Lake does mostly Angus in black, but I think she was talking about mixing in some other things too. But yeah, man, what's your thoughts on that? I know you guys do the Angus in the black, but like I know we were kind of getting into it, man. What do you think the future is, and what do you think some cool crosses might be to experiment with?
Well, crossing, I always think it's like you get a superior animal just like to raise, but not only that, like your carcass traits are a lot superior as well.
Yeah,
You know, from the dairy side of it, beef on dairy is like really big. Like you'll breed your bottom end to dairy, and those calves will raise, and a lot of them end up on feed and stuff. Um, but I can't take any credit for it, but what a dairy farmer in Saskatchewan did is he actually started crossing Holsteins with
I was going to ask about those things.
Angus, and I don't know if it's trademarked or what the official status, but he calls it snow beef, and I find that's like an amazing term for the product, right? Because nobody wants to think like, oh, I'm eating a milk cow.
yeah,
If you say I'm eating snow beef, like as soon as you hear that, people go, snow what? Like it's intriguing
yeah.
to listen to. And so, I mean, I've seen some of the product that guy's doing on. We're starting to experiment more and more with crossing
Mhm.
our Holsteins with Wagyu. We have like a handful of calves on the ground and some at
Yeah.
heavier weight. So we're going to be processing one fairly soon. And I think it'll be, you're going to get a more visual marbling compared to like Angus, and I think the quality of the beef will be really good.
Dang. We do talk to some people. I know, like Kevin from Beast and Cleaver, which is an amazing butcher shop up here in Seattle. He brings in some dairy cows. It's not crossed or anything like that. But why do people like dairy cow? I know that they're a little bit older and like a lot more tender apparently. Like but are we crossing the dairy cow that's like the old dairy cow or the young dairy cow?
Well, I wouldn't say either. I think it's more based off of like milk production and how they perform in the barn. Like you basically, why you're doing beef on dairy is that you don't want to keep like a replacement heifer from them to put back into your herd, so you're breeding them for like a carcass trait, right? So
Yeah.
if you can capitalize on using like a Wagyu, and even if you're not feeding to finish, but you're selling to like a calf grower that's raising Wagyu Holstein cross, like I think that's very beneficial for the consumer, right? Because it's just going to give more interest to the Wagyu breed. But
Yeah.
you asked me about the older cows, or you're just saying like the when we're breeding them, or for like the carcass itself, or
Yeah, when you're
the cow?
breeding, because I think the one of the people really like that older dairy cow because it's like
Oh,
super tender. But you're probably breeding. You're not waiting until it gets super old and tender to breed it.
yeah.
But are they in general more tender, or is it just because they've been in the industry for so long and basically, you know,
Well,
are
I've kind of seen like some people say like the older ones, like a lot of those ribeyes you see like on grocery shelves, those might be older like Holstein cows,
yeah,
Mhm.
because they're like a bigger animal, or they might be like a Holstein cross Angus that's on that shelf, right? That has that much, because there's just a lot more frame and bone that might
Yeah.
be that. But yeah, I think it's like I find the Wagyu and Holstein are very like related. They have a lot of the same characteristics.
Really? Like what? Like what do you think?
Well, I they both grow horns, like they're compared to like a Angus, which is
Yeah.
polled, and
Yeah.
so they have the horns. They have the same bone structure as like what a Holstein would, but on a smaller level. Like
Mm.
they're definitely shorter, but their bone, like their hip bones, like protrude, like come out more.
Yeah.
They just have the same characteristics. Like their disposition is really good. Like Holsteins are always known to be like super friendly, like pets, and Wagyus
Yeah.
are kind of the same, right? So I think they're
Sure.
very, very, they're a breed between the two of them is they work for the people, right? Like the Wagyu
Mhm.
will deliver a high carcass merit, and a Holstein will deliver like produce milk for that for the
Yeah.
consumer, right? So I think maybe there's more than just characteristics, but it's also like maybe like the what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Yeah, man.
the
It's how they
the mindset of the animal, right? Their job,
right.
their duty is kind of like to
Yeah.
provide, right? More than just like a meat. So, but
Dang.
You're definitely not the first person to mention the demeanor of Wagyu cattle.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked to a lot of different ranchers and farmers that they're like, oh, they're just the sweetest, nicest animals.
yeah,
Sometimes I'm out fixing a fence and I'll turn around and they'll be licking my ear or just hanging out. Like it's not that Angus breed where you gotta get out of the field as fast as you can before they fucking headbutt you.
yeah. Well,
Seriously.
and I think a lot of it's genetics. Like our Angus cattle are all really quiet, and Wagyu cattle are quiet. It's the interactions you have with those animals, right? Like whenever it sounds kind of cliche, but like whenever a calf is kind of born and it's done being like I like pet it and like get it used to the people, right? Like it just
Yeah,
lowers the stress. Like I don't want the
Yeah.
animal to come up to me and be scared of people. Like if your first interaction with that animal is positive, like they may not remember everything, but they remember like one positive interaction you had with that person. I think that just builds after generation, right? That these people aren't going to hurt
I
me,
agree.
kind of thing.
I
I
love
agree,
it.
man. I agree. I mean, and that's how they've been raised, right? For hundreds of years,
Yeah.
man. They've not been stressed. They've had their space. They're not just being shoved through the whole meat market kind of thing. So
Hmm.
maybe it's kind of just ingrained in them to just be a little bit more chill. Like we
Yeah,
do that a lot. So
definitely.
that's yeah. That's interesting, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Dude, what other crazy crossbreeds do you think people do? What do you think it'll be a thing? Because I think right now we're still so super early in it that people are like, okay, the safe bet that we know works is the nice marbled Wagyu and the big Angus, right? Like
Hmm.
that's why we're putting them together. What else do you think might be out there?
Well, not like what I would like to see, like what I've heard from calf growers through the dairy is that the best cross is actually a Holstein on a limousine, which is
Huh.
because they make the best beef, the best carcass, they grow the best in the feedlots, that kind of stuff. So I would like to see maybe do some experimenting with a limo on a Wagyu just to kind of see what
Uh,
direction that would go.
Ooh,
And the limo I find is very close to what a red Wagyu would look like, the Akashi or that. They look very similar to me. I'm sure
yeah.
the experts would kind of see a little bit. They have different traits, right? But to me, looking at them, like we have a limo at Wagyu Cross. I'm probably
Mhm.
gonna be feeding it up and seeing that'll be for our own just to try,
Yeah.
and maybe you
yeah,
build off of there, right? Like that's the thing with the Wagyu is that um, it's a lot of experimenting till you actually get what the product you want to deliver, right? And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I don't have X-ray vision glasses where I can like see through the animal, the growth, the marbling as that beef is growing. But
Yeah.
I know you can do ribeye scanner and whatever, but a lot of it's like trial and error until you actually get that perfect product. And I find that with Wagyu people is that we all start. Maybe we can't say, I can't blanket the term everyone, we all start, but
Yeah.
we you get into it experimenting, and then
Mhm.
you raise it, you feed it, you butcher it, and you get hooked on the product for the visual aspect of it, the tenderness. My favorite thing about raising farm to fork beef is that the compliments you get, like it's like wholesome, that people are like, wow, I love your beef, it was the best beef I ever tasted. And it's like that's what you strive to do. And
Yeah.
I think that goes for a lot of Wagyu breeders,
Mhm.
or Wagyu raised cattle raisers, is that they love it, right? They want to
Yeah.
have that best product to deliver.
No, for sure, man. Absolutely. I mean, that's hopefully that's why everybody's doing it, you know. But and then you're right. The hard part, I think, to to test all this stuff is it. You guys are harvesting Wagyu at 30 to 40 months sometimes. So, like, it can take 3 to 4 years to get your results. So you can try that right now. Great. And I'll tell you how it's going to be in 4 years. But, like, it's so early right now that, I wonder if people are starting to experiment. That's one of my questions. I'm hoping that people are, but also, like, yeah, it's expensive. If it doesn't work out, great. I just wasted 4 years feeding a cow, or a herd of cow, and
Right.
and now it doesn't look that good.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I mean, I get it, man. And we don't got a shit ton of extra money to just be throwing around here to test
Yeah.
this stuff right now. So I get it, man.
Yeah.
But it
I
would be
mean,
cool to kind of see what would happen.
yeah, some other crosses I could see, like a scimital. Like a scimitals are always known for having like really large, long carcasses. They get like an extra rib in them.
Okay. Oh shit.
You cross it with that, you maybe get an extra ribeye or something. But
Oh,
yeah,
Nah,
like maternal, like I think everybody has their own goals. I think this is just going back to the perfectionist side. Is like everybody wants to dial in that perfect Wagyu beef, like if it's full blood or that cross, like. And maybe it is experimenting, like you said, like you just got to trial and error and build off of that. But
yeah.
it takes a lot of pride and a lot of dedication to raise the beef, right? So
For real, man.
yeah,
Oh man, it takes you guys forever,
yeah,
man. It's long, and especially Wagyu, right? I mean, you're not harvesting them at 16 to 18 months. Taking a long time. You guys are using great feed.
hmm,
Usually don't have as many. Trying to give space, so it's definitely dude.
yeah.
Props to you guys, man. That's doesn't sound easy.
No, that's
how's
the whole
the
thing.
how's the acceptance of the breed in
Yes.
where you are? Because one of the things that we talk about all the time is, people. We were trying to educate our clientele so much that they think we're lying to them because we try to talk about health attributes. We talk about the way it's raised and how docile it is and what a nice creature and blah 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 and has a happy life, blah blah blah. But people are still like, I'm gonna go to Safeway and get a
Yeah,
steak. I'm gonna go get a steak at Safeway.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to educate the breed and why it's so superior. And is that the same up there? Do you have a problem? Do you have any kind of roadblocks as far as people's mentality of like, oh, that's that you can't eat it, oh, it's so fatty, and I don't know. It's a weird thing for us.
Yeah.
No,
Try to
I get
educate.
what you're saying.
Especially because you have a butcher shop, so you
Yeah,
see it firsthand.
yeah. Um, I guess some of the hurdles is just like I think what you guys are like. I'm not. It's a lot of it's ignorance too, right? Like people don't really know like how to raise them. The whole myths of massage, blah blah blah.
Right.
That's I find is a big hurdle for people to wanting to get into it. Um, I think that there in Alberta, there's a lot more breeders that are raising breeding stock, like papered cows, like Wagyu cows, and it's going back to the feed, right? Like we have irrigation, right? So we can put up corn silage and barley silage and we can grow our own feed, so our costs are a lot lower than what a farmer rancher that wants to experiment with like 30 cows, like he'd be more profitable raising breeding stock, right? So I think that's some of the hurdles is like you're already into it so much with building your herd. How much more can I be in with it with feeding to feed to put it to a plate, right? Because it takes that much longer. If you get what I'm
Okay.
Right.
saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the health benefits, like yeah, I feel like things are starting to turn now a little bit. Like you're getting these carnivore diets coming out, which is
Mhm.
huge. I make the joke like with my wife. I'm like we've been doing this forever. Like the carnivore thing, we've just always been eating meat. Like it's good that I'm glad that people are doing it, but Um,
Well, it helps to know where your meat comes from too. Like,
yeah,
if,
definitely.
like the carnivore diet's great, but if you are just getting crap meat, whether it's just crappy chickens or select steaks, like that's not going to be totally great for you. Like you have to get something that's at least raised well. It doesn't have to be super high end wagyu, but something that's raised well, where it's raised from.
Definitely.
That makes a big difference, man. So it's we kind of mentioned some regulations and stuff like that. I know you're kind of big on that and keeping Wagyu under control, because it is a little bit of a wild west right now, which I think is okay, because there's so many people that are in it are super passionate, and they really care about the product. There's not a lot of people out there that are trying to get rich quick off Wagyu, because you really can't, because it takes a long time to raise. But let's get into some regulations. And one question I always have is, when we talk to Brant Lake Wagyu, like Canadian Prime is different than American Prime. You guys have the grading scale, right? Should we all just be using the Japanese grading scale? I mean, like when we talk to people in the Wagyu industry, that's how we refer to everything. Like, oh man, we had some F1 crosses that were, probably at like a BMS 7,
Yeah,
and it's like, why aren't we just using that?
right.
Right.
No,
You
I
know?
think I agree with that. I think that's the best scale to use. I think if there's a universal scale or that anybody can look at and kind of compare, because it gives you that visual to compare it to what level it is, and that could be based off of what people should pay for that product as well. Um,
Totally.
and it is tough because the cattle market has always been a little bit of wild west. Like as long as that meat's getting or that calf's getting to the market or whatever. But when you throw Wagyu in there, the people that are committed and dedicated to the breed of raising like top quality beef to the consumer, I think there should be some sort of stamp of approval that's saying like this is raised from a Wagyu certified breeder or
Right.
you know, um, just because it's my thing is like it's a lot of pride and dedication goes into raising that beef and um,
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
It sucks though, because like we're already tricked by meat labels. Like I already see some stuff in my grocery stores. Like I'll go to like a nice grocery store and it'll have like certified Australian Wagyu, and I'm like, what? Like it's so weird. It's not even the Australian grading scale. It's something different, and I'm like, what does this even mean? It doesn't even look that good. It's just like it
No.
looks like crap. I'm like, what the hell is this? So the American Wagyu Association, I think that hopefully, like one day they can be the North American Wagyu Association and just include everybody here. Uh,
That's what we want.
I think that would be cool. I don't know I don't know any how that would work. I don't want to get
Yeah.
into any of that, but they're a trusted source in Wagyu, and a lot of good people that are passionate about it are actually doing it. They're actually on the board. They've been in the Wagyu industry for years. So I think that might be a good way to standardize it. I think they might be coming out with something we hear, but I don't know what's going to happen in Canada, because
Yeah.
it's obviously it's not the same.
Well, no, and I think we're part of the American Wagyu Association up here. Like our bulls and cattle are registered through the American Wagyu
Cool.
Association, and I have no problem with that. I think that's
Is
great.
it is it North American? Are we wrong? Like, or is it just like the United States? Is
It
this
must
up there?
like I'm pretty sure it's. I don't know. My papers all say American Wagyu,
Cool, man.
so
Cool. Hey,
yeah. I don't know if it's North American, but yeah. I mean, I think it's a good thing to have. Like I'm a big. Some people say regulation and stuff is bad, but I'm a big advocate for it.
yeah.
Um,
It,
yeah.
it keeps people from. It keeps big companies, from taking over and saying, "Oh, we got this," and it's hopefully it will stop people from putting Kobe beef burgers on their menu, because that's
Well,
just
yeah, that's the
it's
big
so
thing. I don't
fucking
know. I
stupid.
remember when I was talking to you on the phone too. My dad's friend was down at a local restaurant, and um, he was looking. Called up my dad and said, "Hey, you guys raise those Wagyu cattle?" And my dad says, "Yeah." Well, there's a hot dog on the menu here. And
Wagyu
he's
hot
like,
dog.
okay. He goes, well, are Wagyu different than a regular beef? Uh, yeah, a little bit. Well, what I wanted to know is the lips and the asshole different on a Wagyu than a regular beef? Because why do they charge me $35 for a hot dog?
Oh wow! Yes. I mean that. Yep, that makes sense, right?
So
That
and I
is
think
Wow.
that's what my point is. Like, I think it's good if that is a Wagyu and that beef is being used and not
Yeah.
wasted.
Yeah.
I also think like Wagyu needs to be the experience of the beef, not just put it in a hot dog, right?
Yeah. And that just sounds like people are just trying to, upsell their hot dog for $35, man.
Right.
That seems a little crazy, but hopefully with some actual regulation, we can see it. We can see that stuff kind of improve, but also, with regulations, sometimes comes the big companies, right? Like that's, I was in the cannabis industry for years, and when it was Wild West, it was a lot of people who actually gave a shit about the product. And then when you get into all of a sudden it got legalized, and you're like, oh wow, all these really fucking rich people are in on it now. How the heck did they get in on this? So, how does Wagyu get big enough to where it's never going to be on everybody's plate for every single meal, right? But like it would be cool if people were like, hey, you know what, I want to have a good steak, I want to get a Wagyu steak, like when if they thought about it in that sense. So how does it get to that point, without it losing its quality? Because right now everybody in it is so passionate. So how does it grow but still stay controlled? And
No, that's a good question, honestly. But yeah, I agree with you, and I think that if you have too much people that are, cutting that Wagyu down to a 16th and an eighth, that's just going to flood the market. Excuse me, and
yeah,
they're going to be able to capitalize on like a premium on that beef, right? I think
yeah,
the organization we have here for the Angus side is, it's called Certified Angus Beef. I don't know if you guys have that
yeah,
as well.
yep.
So I think something like that would be important, where you have like a representative from like a Wagyu Beef Association comes to your farm, see that your cattle are raised ethically, well taken care of. They have
yes,
papers on them. They
yeah,
realize that they can feed them for the proper amount of time to get that enhanced marbling.
yep,
They're taken to a butcher where it's kind of like they're graded at either by the butcher or by someone certified to do it.
mm-hmm.
And that
Yeah,
beef is stamped approval. If it's going, I mean, this is a big scale where it's going to like a Safeway or Costco or whatever. But
yeah,
like even for like a consumer, like you're selling it privately, like if you see a stamp from a butcher like this is certified Wagyu beef, I think that just adds more value to that
yeah,
person and to the person supplying it, right?
yeah, for
It's
sure, man.
Wagyu isn't about cutting corners. It's about
Exactly.
having the highest quality, taking the time, learning from everything, getting as much information as you can, and building off of that, right?
I love it. I love it, man. Somebody said it. I forget. One of our last podcasts was you can't cheat
Oh,
creating what you do. Like you can't cut the corners. You can't force feed these things and then slaughter them at 16 months and get the same product. And it takes time and it takes patience,
hmm,
and that's why the Japanese are so great at raising these.
I
yeah,
like to think of it as like a chef-driven cattle,
Oh,
definitely, yeah,
because what makes a good cook into a really good line cook into a good sous chef into a chef is just that.
right,
Like, if you're a really good chef or you're a really good cook, you do not cut corners.
right,
You don't serve something that's not perfect.
yeah,
If you burn it, you fucking throw it away and you start over. It's like,
yeah,
look at the Wagyu cattle industry kind of the same way as the
exactly.
production of how a cook becomes a chef.
Right. And you don't just start from the line chef and go to the top either. Like you work
No,
your way and you learn as you go and you take a little
yeah.
bit of each of that and you learn, right? So
I
it's
love
all
it,
important. Yeah, I agree.
dude. How do you like to cook Wagyu? What's your favorite way to cook it?
Well, I like just with an F1, I'll just throw it on the barbecue, to be honest. But and
Like
I
I'm
like
watching.
it. Like I love like we get our steaks cut like an inch and a quarter thick, so they're like 24-ounce steaks, and it like takes up half the barbecue, and I'll just like slap it down. But you gotta watch them too. Like they'll just
Oh,
fire
dude,
up crazy.
Oh yeah,
dude.
dude,
You
you
know.
cannot take your eyes off it, right? Like, don't close the barbecue and start drinking your beer because, like, all of a sudden it's just,
Yeah. Yeah.
man.
My wife doesn't want to cook Wagyu on the barbecue anymore because she'll the barbecue's on fire, and then it's like I'm mad because the steak's wrecked.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it's
Yeah.
tough, man. You got to keep flipping that thing, dude.
No, she's good. She's good. She can cook a pretty good steak. But other than that, I like a cast iron. If it's really cold
Yeah,
outside, I'll throw it in the cast iron. You know,
yeah.
do it that
Do you
way.
ever smoke it?
I haven't
Do you
smoked any yet, but I mean, I
ever- oh,
love
man.
butter. Like dairy farmers, they love butter, right? So I'm just like
You just
glazing.
get,
Basting,
Yeah,
basting, basting,
yeah,
basting.
I love
yeah,
that.
man.
Um,
You ever
it's
make
all
come
good.
down to Seattle, man? You got to come check us out because we got some really great smoked. Tyler does a lot of great smoked wagyu, man.
Yeah, you guys
Like,
are doing cool stuff down there.
Yeah, and I gotta go because I gotta be up at 2:30 or so this morning because we're doing beef ribs tonight.
Oh
yeah,
no,
dude. Yeah, we
that's
got
early.
beef ribs tonight, man.
Get
So
the smoker
you're
out by 3.
so
That's
what? How are
Yeah.
you cooking those?
I just rubbed them with mustard in our house bovine rub. It's like one of our LJ rubs that we do,
Nice.
and then I use applewood and cherry. So I'll get the smoker up by hopefully by 3 in the morning and have it at about 225, and then I'll stack them all in there. It's a 1, 2, 3A plate, right? So you get one bone per order. So
Nice.
what do I have out there? I got like 55 orders, I think.
Holy smokes.
So it's going to take a little real estate off
Yeah.
the smoker, and it's been pretty nice here for the last couple of days. But if it's going to be chilly in the morning because it's going to be clear, that's just going to extend my
Yeah,
smoke
you gotta
time.
watch
Dude.
the smoker.
It's taking a while.
Yeah, definitely.
I might bring my dog tomorrow and just sit on the patio and camp out.
That's
That'd be
dope.
great.
Dude, what do you think would happen, Tyler, if we did wagyu uh, dino ribs? Do you think it would be a longer cook? Would you do the same thing, or I don't know if you could eat a whole one?
I'd probably do the exact same thing, but I'd probably keep the temperature a little bit lower. So I would say it would probably take a little bit longer because I wouldn't want to have that temperature get up so much to melt that intermuscular fat, right?
Yeah,
Because I mean, the beef rib is already. I mean, like I said, the one we're using from Pure Country it's fucking gorgeous,
it looks great.
gorgeous. So yeah, and it's such a rich. I mean, it's a lot of meat, dude.
Dude, I know. I'd love to. Dude, we should try to get. This would be crazy, but we should try to get an A5 rib plate like that, and then try to smoke it. Just see what happens, man. Because who were we talking to? Adam from Plum Creek was talking about smoking an A5 brisket, man.
Yeah, he was. That
Like,
guy's bonkers,
I always
dude.
want to know what happens. Like, what happens to the whole cow over there? Because like we only see the tenderloins and the ribeyes, and I'm like, what do you do with the fucking brisket? They just doing it, the shabu shabu. Because like,
I want an A5 like Terrace Major.
yeah, dude.
That would be. I think that would be probably just the most premium cut on the animal. Oh,
I've
so
heard
good.
one smokehouse here, they do jerky out of the brisket.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Cut it up. Yeah, that'd be good. I bet.
yeah.
Was it A5 or is it like full blood?
It's just regular Angus, but
Oh, okay.
Still good.
it's still
'Cause,
good.
like,
Yeah,
I'm just thinking, like, dude, a brisket, like you would if you had smoked that A5 brisket, man, you're losing like 30% of it, right,
Yeah.
into fat at least. Because I was watching a guy on YouTube. He cooked. He's like, would A5 make a great burger? And he's like made like a smash burger with A5, and he weighed it beforehand and then weighed it after, and it lost like 40% of its
Jeez.
weight.
For sure.
Just the fucking fat just stripped out, dude. That's crazy, man. I'm always interested on how they use that whole cow over there in Japan because we don't see any of those other cuts, man.
Mhm.
Curious.
Yeah, it's got to go somewhere, man. It's got to go somewhere. Jeez. Well, Quintin, what else do you want the world to know about Wagyu, or at least our world?
I mean, if people are wanting to get into it and try it. You won't look back on it, honestly. but don't cut it short. Like, stay committed. It's a process, and you'll be happy with the results if you do it properly. And um, if you're in the cattle industry, I think it's a risk willing to take at this point. How much genetics and how much um, the breed has evolved, and crossing it, I think, is huge, beneficial for people that just want to dabble in it a little bit and build off there. So
Yeah, man. It could help improve a lot of herds.
mm-hmm.
We've heard that a lot of people saying that they just want to get some to just kind of put in their herd, improve it, make it even nicer and nicer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just
Definitely.
better beef, man. That's all we
Yeah.
keep saying, man. It's
Yeah.
just better beef.
It
And then
is.
people talk are like, "Aren't you worried about the fucking cholesterol?" And shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
Educate yourself.
I think that's slowly changing again, but
it is.
you know,
Even from like 2 years ago, dude. Like
Yeah.
we put shit on TikTok 2 years ago,
mhm.
and people just went nuts. Dude.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
just like, "How dare you? That they're the worst raised cattle." And I'm like, "No, they're not. Like
Yeah.
they're actually like the ones we've seen are like have open space and shit like that." I know in Japan sometimes they're a little bit enclosed. They don't get as much movement, but they still have like more area than most of the fucking cattle out there that are just being force fed and into the meat market. So
Yeah, I mean, you want your cattle to be healthy. Like, you're doing it for a source of income, but you're also doing it because you love it. Why would you do something to hurt it or not have a good life and stress it? Like, there's a lot of disconnect, right? People just think it's a piece of meat on the shelf when it's just like That's why I like the farm to fork, is because there's a face to it, right? That we have a story, we come from a farm, and people respect that more and like to be like, oh, it's from Weiss's or Weiss Ranch, right? Because they know who we are. So I think that goes with any Wagyu breeder, right? Like, they probably know half or more of their customers who's buying their beef. And if you're not willing to put your name on it, then,
yeah, man.
Yeah.
It means a lot, dude. Like we always say, dude, know where your beef comes from. When people come in and ask us where our beef comes from, there's a map and we point right there, 150 miles away from this restaurant right there. We got local Wagyu. See? We got it right there. We've got local Wagyu producers that we use in Washington and in Northern California and in Southern Oregon and all over, man. We got one that's even like 17, 18 miles away. And we know who they are, and we've built up that trust, just like you have with like you and your butcher shop, people coming in and going, "You're the guys that raised this? Wow. Like, how do you do it?" And you have a story, and it's not just meat on the shelf. I think that's so important to say, dude. It's like,
Definitely.
a lot of this is local people that are doing, that are working hard to like raise amazing beef, that care about it, that care about the outcome, that care about the health benefits, and aren't sitting here just making millions of dollars doing this shit. No, they do it because we love it, and that's why we want to push it too, because it's good, it's better for you. And a lot of beef that people go into a grocery store, you might buy a $20 steak in the grocery store when you can go to a nice butcher shop and get an amazing Wagyu steak for $18 to $25.
Right.
And might not be a ribeye, but it's going to be a lot better than that shit on the fucking shelf at Safeway.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of it too is like even like the smaller butcher shops, their hang time is a lot longer, right? Like, they're not scared to let a beef hang for 21 days. Like,
Right.
That's just going to add more flavor and texture to the beef, right? Like, we have JBS here, and we're grateful that we have a packing plant to, make the beef and supply, but they're just wet drying, right? Like, it's just cut and put in a package, right? So that's you're going to sacrifice a little bit of the quality at that point too, compared to, a butcher shop that might only hang 50 head or whatever, right? So
yeah, man, that dry age means
it's a game changer. Yeah, definitely.
Dude, we had no idea. I'll say I had no idea until we started doing our butcher shop, and we started getting the really good meat, and I was like, what? Why does this taste different? Like, it's concentrated, it's beefier. It's so much better. You can see it. I love it, man. People come in all the time from other nice restaurants that work at nice restaurants, and they come into our butcher shop and they're like, "Yeah, I'll get my meat from you guys."
Yeah.
It's fucking funny, dude.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like up here we cook our burgers well done. I don't know.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and you guys
colder up there, man.
Pardon me?
It's colder up there,
Yeah, but you guys can order a burger like medium, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cooking burgers today,
Yeah.
and I'll take them to 130 and pull them.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But if you're the health department though.
Right.
Then I hold them,
Oh, okay.
and we sear them all the way to 165. No, I hold them and then just sear them on the flat top, no cheese on them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
This perfect pink medium.
Nice.
Plus, it's been smoked, so you always pick up that pink smoke ring anyway. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Well,
But I
I was just gonna add, like, I think like even that dry aging, that's killing some potential bacteria too as well. So that's gonna eliminate a lot of that and add to the beef. And where you can, like, I love eating my hamburger medium. Like, I'll do it at home, and I love it. And it's because I can. I know the beef is safe to eat. Not saying that other beef from the store wouldn't, but it's like a peace of mind for me too, right? Because it's getting that hang time. So
you're right, man. And I think, you know, a great part about Wagyu is that you can cook it from medium rare to well done, you know, burger, and it's gonna fucking taste good.
it does.
Still gonna taste good.
It's gonna taste really good. So
Definitely.
that's, you know, it's just better beef, guys.
For sure, man.
That's all we're saying, man.
Better beef.
Well, Quintin, man, hey, dude, it was really cool talking to you, man. I liked it, you know, like what you're doing up there in Alberta. How can people get in touch with you? Do you have a website? You have social media?
Working on a website now. It's called weisscattle.ca.
Okay, and it's WEISS.
Yep, cattle.
WEISS cattle.
So
I'll
we're
put that
gonna
in the notes.
have basically all our farm information, our Black Angus herd, and then our Wagyu herd as well. We'll have pictures of our carcasses that we've harvested, different restaurants we've partnered with. Also, we're on Instagram, Weiss Wagyu.
Cool.
Lots of information, different pictures and stuff that we've been progressing, getting better all the time. So
Nice, man. Yeah, dude.
Thanks.
Well, that's cool, man. Yeah, I love chatting with you. I love how passionate you are.
Yeah, you
and dude, I think it's cool that all these people in the industry just really love what they do, man. Trying new things. We just all want to keep educating and talking positively about this breed and how great the meat is, so people can have that, you know, down the road. Hopefully in a year, 2 years, 5 years, we're going to see this on the shelves right next to prime. And if people can't afford to eat it every night, that's totally fine. We don't expect that. But if you're looking for a good steak and you want to even celebrate a little bit, man, you should be doing. And it's not that out of reach, man.
No.
It's not.
Treat yourself.
So treat yourself to some good meat.
I think what you guys are doing too says a lot for what you care about the breed too. Like, for you guys to do this and be building off of that, it shows a lot of commitment, and you guys are always enthusiastic. So it's nice to hear from you guys, because I'm not saying sometimes, you know, you get beer snobs or like beef snobs. You guys are just like chill, right? Like, you're not breathing down someone's throat, right? Like, it's just laid back, it's a breath of fresh air, honestly. So.
Thank you, man. And we love it. And it's like we eat it all the time. That's all we do. And we love eating it. We love cooking it. We love sharing it with people. And like, just like you, when people come in and they're like, dude, that was the best steak I've ever had. Like, it's such a cool feeling,
it is,
man.
Honestly.
It's like they might have never tried that. And now they're like, oh, I'm buying this $22 flank steak, F1 Cross flank steak every time I come in now, instead of going to the Safeway and buying a, you know, $20 whatever, you know? So it's just cool, man.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, dude. Well, hey, if you're in Seattle, man, you gotta pop over here, man. You gotta let us know, and we gotta make a trip, because Tyler's from Montana, so I know, you know,
we might go see the 51st state here. We'll see.
Love it, dude. I know, dude. Oh my god.
And there won't be any borders. We'll just be able to be citizens together.
No borders, no tariffs. We'll just be able to do it all, man.
Yeah.
Good joke, man. I love it. We got to get up there though, because we want to see you and Brant Lake and see what you guys are all doing, man. I think it's.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
We're
cool. On our way to Brant Lake. So.
Cool, man. Tell Michelle what's up from us, man. That was a fun podcast. She was really cool, dude.
Well spoken, yeah.
She's so cool. Yeah, it's cool. It reminds us of Bar R Wagyu down in Pullman, man. Like, it's so funny. Their stories just like almost exactly match. And got Arlie down there and Dr. Jerry Reeves. So it's cool, man. It's cool. So,
definitely.
Well, hey, dude, we're gonna hop off. I know Tyler's got to get to bed soon, because he's got to throw those beef ribs on tonight at 3 a.m. So, dude, it was great talking to you, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Quintin.
Thanks, man.
All right, later.